Did Elon Musk just dodge a huge legal bullet here in closing this deal for Twitter?
Yeah, we'll never know, will we? But it sure was looking ugly for him as the trial approached. Quite apart from the fact that he avoided having his deposition taken in the case, he was going to have to deal with a lot of, frankly, what seemed like contradictory statements about Twitter in the last several months. And I, for one, didn't see a way for him to get to the goal line in that case, the goal line as it was at the time, getting out of the deal. So as much as his turnaround and saying, yep, I'm going to go ahead was a shock to me, it kind of made sense because I think he was, as we used to say, cruising for a bruising.
Do you think this will impact the tech M&A landscape going forward? You know, will this discourage potential breakups?
Well, I'm not sure it'll do so any more than the law did before. I mean, it's been pretty clear from a number of cases in Delaware that when push comes to shove, if your deal says you don't have a way out, the court's going to do something and is not afraid to make you go through with it, the specific performance remedy that people talk about. So I'm not sure there's new law. I'm not sure there's new guidance. But maybe there's new reassurance that a deal's a deal and it's going to be enforced.
So let's talk about these other issues that he's facing. How serious are these other Tesla situations, and how significant is it that he's got to deal with the same judge who didn't make so many favorable rulings on the Twitter deal leading up to this?
Well, I don't want to puncture your balloon, but I think what's left in Delaware is not nearly as exciting or as big as the case that we almost just had with Twitter. But they're serious, and there are really two cases. One that's scheduled to go to trial soon is the one involving a compensation package Elon got from Tesla back in 2018, a whole slug of stock options in I think 12 tranches, and they were performance-based. In other words, he didn't get the benefit of those options unless Tesla met some milestone performances, which they mostly did. And yet what's left for trial is a stockholder suit claiming that compensation, that equity compensation, was just way excessive in the billions of dollars. I don't know what it's really worth, but it's worth a lot.
So how could this potentially impact him, given he just shelled out a lot of money to buy Twitter?
Well, if he loses, it could be significant, although, even a couple $1 billion is a lot less than 44, but it would be significant if he lost. However, I think it's important to keep in mind that when the judge, who has since retired, decided a motion to dismiss the case, he said, it's the plaintiff stockholder who's going to have to prove unfairness in this case, principally because of the stockholder approval of the pay package. And because the plaintiff stockholder is going to have to prove unfairness, it's not a lay down hand. And in fact, the judge who decided the motion to dismiss said, they pleaded adequate facts to get by a motion to dismiss and to go to trial, but only barely. So he was kind of skeptical even at the outset that even if the case went to trial, much would come out of it. And I haven't seen anything that's changed since then. To be honest, this strikes me as a case that would make a lot of sense to settle at a much smaller level than $1 billion.